Let's get started. Welcome back to the Wonder of Ivy YouTube channel. It's me, Lisa, and today I am going to be doing another cosplay wow review episode, but this time it's a little bit different because I'm actually reviewing an older series. And this is gonna be a little bit interesting because this cosplay involves drawing and I can't draw, so that's gonna be interesting. But let's go ahead and get started. I am going to be doing a look inspired by the anime Inuyasha, and I'm going to be reviewing season 1. It's gonna be a little bit different type of review because I've seen Inuyasha. Inuyasha is one of my favorite animes of all time. It was one of the first animes that I really watched, you know, like set out to watch, try to watch every single episode. I would be on, you know, online way before any type of social media. I remember going to the library, looking up stuff about Inuyasha, trying to read the manga while I was at the library. As many of us who are my age range, you know, late 20s, early 30s, we grew up with Inuyasha because it was on Adult Swim. And I still remember the first day I ever in my life saw Inuyasha. I remember I had just moved to Pennsylvania and my best friend Andy had come with us, and for some reason, like, we had a TV in the living room. We still didn't even have furniture yet, and it was late and Adult Swim was on, and we caught a glance of Inuyasha. This was in 2003, and ever since then I would always try to watch it. At that time I was like 9. Yeah, I was 9 at that time because it was 2003. I was 9 and I saw like one episode and it was kind of like scary, but it was really like good. And I remember thinking to myself, this looks similar to like Digimon, Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura in terms of like the art style. I didn't realize at this time that it was called anime. So yeah, ever since I've been absolutely in love with Inuyasha, and I've been wanting to rewatch this series for a couple years now. I always say, oh, I'm gonna rewatch it. And I wanted to rewatch it subbed. Now, the dub version, which is the one most of us grew up with, is good. Like, that's one of the best dubs possibly, you know, of our time, considering, you know, it's in the 2000s where they would just dub shit and fuck it up. All things considered, it is a great dub. However, I had been wanting to watch it in sub because I heard a voiceover comparison with the actress who plays Inuyasha in English and in Japanese, and it was just, there was no comparison. The Japanese voice actress was such a different emotion, whereas, you know, in English, Kagome was coming off like annoying and just like, oh, okay, girl, bye. And in the Japanese, like, the voice actor, like, she acted her ass off, and I don't know, like, and I'll get into it, but ever since I saw that, I was like, okay, like, I definitely need to watch this. Finally, a couple weeks ago, I was like, you know, let me pull the plug, let me watch Inuyasha, and that's what I did. So that's a little history on how I got to rewatching Inuyasha, and I've been live tweeting me watching it, so I will include links. I have a thread for season 1 and a thread for season 2 that I just started. But I'm talking a lot, and I need to start getting started on this makeup look. For the makeup look, I'm going to be attempting, I'm fingers crossed, attempting Sesshomaru Cosplay. It's kind of funny because I put a little teaser on Instagram and I put a black wig and I was like, guess who I'm cosplaying from Inuyasha? So you're not gonna see this coming. Let's see how I do. I have already put makeup on my face, foundation, concealer, brows, look type, some type of human. And I'm gonna put some translucent powder so I can start working on the eyes. And then the thing I'll save for last is the extra face details. But I had been wanting to rewatch Inuyasha. I finally decided to pull the plug. And the first thing that I noticed when watching season 1 is I had seen way more episodes than I thought I did. I think out of the whole season, there may have been, like, out of 27 episodes, I think there was like 5 that I didn't watch, which I think is a good amount because, you know, back in 2003, when I would try to watch Inuyasha, it wasn't like today where there's a TV guide and you can see the next couple of times Inuyasha's coming up. That wasn't a thing. You would literally have to just try every single day, whatever times to watch Inuyasha. You didn't know, you know, back then I didn't know if the episodes was in order, if the episodes wasn't in order. I don't remember that, but I do remember, and there was a lot of repeats too, so sometimes you would stay up for Inuyasha. It was an episode you already saw, but you would just watch it again. I feel like once I remember maybe high school, that I had gone to the library, started thinking like, okay, I want to start borrowing the DVDs to watch. But I only think I borrowed a DVD that had like the first 6 episodes. You know, back then the DVDs didn't have a lot of episodes at one time. From there on, most of my Inuyasha knowledge was put from Tumblr. I used to follow this Tumblr, Fuck Yeah Inuyasha. I was like one of the first, or maybe like the only Inuyasha blogs. And it was this guy who was like obsessed with Inuyasha. He had seen it 300 times, read the manga. He would do in-depth analysis. Shout out to Tumblr, you know, for helping us launch our blogging careers. Because Tumblr was that girl when you wanted to write a thesis about anime character and you were like, this is exactly what I'm doing with my life. That was kind of like a lot of what I knew from Inuyasha from that point on, since I had watched it on TV. Whatever I didn't watch in the episodes, I kind of put together from following this Inuyasha blog. Even though it was like spoiler heavy, I really liked it because it jumped into a lot of in-depth character analysis. A lot of things that happened I was able to piece together through this blog. So like I said, the first thing that I noticed rewatching this was that I had seen more episodes than I thought I did. Now, did I remember all the episodes, correct every single thing that had happened? No. And there was actually a lot of key first season episodes that I had missed, including Sango's episode where she joined, you know, like her whole, everything that happened with her family. Before I had decided, okay, I'm gonna rewatch Inuyasha, I was a little bit hesitant because some stuff, your memory be like on 1,000 and in real life it's like 10%. And we all have those things where our memories, like just the nostalgia of it, you hold it up better than it was. And I was kind of scared of that happening because like I said, it's been over 10 years since I've watched Inuyasha. So I was scared that I really was about to watch this and I was gonna hate, like, it's gonna be everything that I stand against. And I was then I started watching. I was like, girl, you should have never doubted Inuyasha. It holds up so well. First of all, it holds up well on its own. You watching it, you know, despite some of the animation being like a little bit older, but the vividness, the sharpness of it, you wouldn't think it's as old as it is, because it's 20 years old at this point. It started getting animated in 2000. On anime form, so you wouldn't think like it's as old as it is. That's first of all. And it aged so well. Of course, there's certain elements like Moroku being a perv, which I'll get to in a second. For the times that it was, it's not aged in the sense, like, it wasn't made in a way that you, the whole time you're watching it, you're like, man, this is old. Oh my God, this is olden times. Like, of course, they're in feudal Japan, so we got that out the way. You're watching it, and it's just amazing how well it aged in terms of content. You know, the story is still very fresh and interesting. Even if you know, like me, I know obviously the main gist of Inuyasha, but somebody who doesn't, who's probably trying to watch it for the first time, it's definitely engaging enough where you're not just running off the nostalgia of it. Because unfortunately, that happens with a lot of, not even just anime, that happens with a lot of shows where, you know, the power of the nostalgia, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. You rewatch it, or somebody else coming into it, it's like, yeah, no, this wasn't really that good, right? I hate to say that it surprised me because, like I said, I love Inuyasha, but it did in a way surprise me. Like, I'm going to be honest, because I said I haven't seen the series in over 10 years. And last time I saw it was either Adult Swim or that one DVD that had like 10 episodes. So it's been a while since I sat down, watched it, wasn't just looking at clips on Tumblr, wasn't just looking at screen grabs. And I found myself wanting to binge it. And y'all know me, I got a problem with binging, which is why I don't watch a lot of stuff. Found myself completely and utterly absorbed into it. If you are following me on Twitter, or you've seen my thread, or you go look at my thread after this, you can tell, like, I was thoroughly enjoying it. I still am enjoying it because I'm still watching it. You know an anime is good or something's good when I have a lot to say about it, because every episode I just have so many feelings and I just have so much stuff that I want to talk about, because it's so easy to get right back into the plot. Still such a unique story, and it's funny watching it, then now you kind of see some of the newer things that were inspired or either drew, you know, because a lot of animes like pay homage to other animes in the anime. It's like anime inception. Looking back and watching the anime now, seeing like, oh shit, this show, you know, did they get inspired by this? And Inuyasha is one of those animes that, as old as it is, like, you still see people talking about it on Twitter, because this is our generation, our millennial generation, that grew up with that anime. Rewatching it, and I don't know if this is because I'm watching it in sub, it definitely changed my mind on some of the characters that I had. Now, I'm telling you, I love Kagome. Like, I fucking love Kagome. But growing up, you know, especially, I felt like sometimes, like, she was very, very annoying. And I remember her a lot, you know, being Inuyasha, having to save her. And I ended up actually writing an article about this, because I'm actually watching it and I'm like, yo, damn, look at Kagome doing this and look at Kagome doing that. For somebody who's been in feudal Japan for like 2 seconds, how's she doing X, Y, and Z? And I think that's one thing, and I'm not gonna 100% say, oh, this is the dub's fault, because I haven't seen the dub in a long time. But I don't know if it's maybe my visions from, you know, my memories from before, or the power of the Japanese voice actress, or just, you know, getting older and seeing a different perspective. Kagome's that motherfucking bitch. Like, she is so, first of all, I always thought she was awesome. But I did think, you know, she had annoying moments, and there's moments where she's like, sit boy, and, you know, you're like, God, Kagome, you're so cringy. And rewatching it, I can definitely say that those moments where I felt Kagome being cringy was like 0 to none, except when she was out here losing the jewels so fucking easily. Like, girl, how you losing it so quick? Girl, somebody walked next to you, the jewel's gone. I'm gonna need them to assign somebody else to carry the sacred jewel shards. That's coming up though. I really was just like enamored with her the entire time, and every time, you know, I wrote an article like the times that she did it, and I had to narrow it down to 10, because there was just so many moments of her being a badass. And the one thing, and I like I said, I'm not sure if this is something because I'm older that I'm seeing it now, but the whole Kagome Kikyo love triangle with Inuyasha, you really see, at least this first season, like Kagome wasn't trying to be like, damn, pick me over Kikyo, at least not yet. I still had a couple seasons to go. But this first season, my favorite episode is the one, Kagome's voice and Kikyo's kiss, where Kagome is stuck on the tree and she's watching Inuyasha be like, Kikyo, I've always loved you, I never forgot about you, Naruto set us up. And she's watching that whole shit, and while she's watching it, that's the moment that she realizing, like, damn, I actually have feelings for Inuyasha. I feel like up until this point, there was little moments where she kind of was like, could I be with Inuyasha? Like, thinking it. And then this cemented it when she, one, sees him confessing his still love for Kikyo. Two, she completely understands why he would still be in love with her. You know, 50 years have passed, but to Inuyasha, he's only been awake for a month. And this whole time he was sleeping, you know, 50 years, that was like a second to him. So her maturity and understanding that, and the whole time Kikyo is like, I'm gonna drag this man to hell, and you better, you know, be careful. And Kagome's like, girl, he loves you. So it's crazy to me, or not crazy to me, but realizing like that emotional maturity that you have, where you are seeing somebody who is, you're in love with them, they're in love with somebody else, and you're pleading on their love on behalf to the other person. You're saying, listen, he loves you, he doesn't want to go, you know, he wouldn't want to go to hell. So that was like the top moment for me this season. But throughout the entire season, time and time again, Kagome's resourcefulness, Kagome's maturity, Kagome's willingness to help in any way, even though sometimes she might be making a situation worse, she can't just sit back. And that's something that I feel like that was lost, or I didn't really recognize when I was watching it as a child, how much of a fucking badass Kagome is. When it comes to Inuyasha, Inuyasha has definitely come, in my mind, I don't know if this is dub like stereotypes, Inuyasha in the sub version, or rewatching him now as an adult, is still a hothead, immature, but he does, or I'm recognizing now, that he's actually very caring. Obviously, when it comes to Kagome, even though he might not, you know, recognize it now, or is completely, at least where I am, unaware of these feelings. And then the treatment with Kikyo, the one thing that stood out most to me throughout this whole thing is his treatment of Moroku, Sango, and Shippo, and how much he is a caring person despite everything, despite, you know, oh, I want to be the best demon in the world. Those, you know, how he comes off, and his treatment of them, and, you know, during battles, looking out for them and coming to understand them and basically accept them into this group. Because obviously, you know, anime, they're gonna be like, all right, everybody, like, we a little crew for crew's sake, we're gonna have all these people together, and that's cool and all that, but it always seems like they're butting heads, or there's always issues. And I feel like so far to where I am in season, you know, finishing season 1, that Inuyasha really has become more and more caring, and we're seeing that being proven by how his Tessaiga reacts to him in certain situations, him trying to save people, him trying to save humans. And that is something that I definitely overlooked when I was little. And obviously, you know, I'm talking about a show that I watched over 15 years ago. I started watching over 15 years ago. So my memory is not going to be immaculate, and it's not going to be the best. But what I feel like, and I'm not somebody who usually rewatches stuff, so I'm learning this as I go, is that you really, if you decide something is a certain way, like, you're going to carry that belief with you. And it's interesting, you know, now rewatching it, seeing how all of these things that I believe, that I'm thinking this thing's about Kagome or Inuyasha, and they're starting to be shown to me in a different way. And again, I will say I do partially think that is the sub actors doing an amazing job compared to the dub people. Not that the dub people didn't do a good job, but one of the reasons that I really like sub is because there's so much, the acting's on a different level, and I'll explain why that also goes to show. Japanese animation is drawn for Japanese people, and it's drawn for the script that they have. Certain things in Japanese, in any language, don't translate over to English, and they're not going to be the same translations. When dubbing is taking place, they have to just make lines that fit the movements that the anime character already has. So that leads to things being cut off, things not being translated exactly, and that's at no fault to anybody else's. But that's why I feel like when you are watching a subtitle, that certain emotions can be felt more, because it's animated to what the person is saying versus somebody saying to the animation. So that's a little back. There's more information on that in my video with Xanthi when she kind of explained the dubbing thing to me, but it makes so much sense. Inuyasha, Kagome, watching them this time around, first of all, I'm always gonna be team Kagome, and I'm always gonna be team Inuyasha. But having, you know, the second go around, how much love and respect and viewing them in different lights have been really, 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 really enjoyable for me. I said I was gonna get back to Moroku. Now, Moroku's so perv, and I fucking don't like that shit, and none of us like that shit. I will say, I don't know if it's, I'm only just got past season 1. He got more episodes to go. So far, it's not as overbearing as I thought it was gonna be, because I really don't like scenes like that. Like, they make me like uncomfortable, even if it's for comedic purposes. But I feel like it's not as overbearing or dramatic as I remember it being, and it happens rather quickly. And Sango, Kagome, they fucking handle it, and we can move on. That's that. And his character, I don't remember feeling like I cared about Moroku as much as I care about him now. Watching Moroku's character, I have a different understanding of him, in a different respect for him. I really can see and understand his back history a little bit more, see what he's up against when it comes to the wind tunnel and Naruku, and how much, you know, his whole life just been fucked up because of this wind tunnel. Now, he's still not like my favorite character. We ain't gonna take it that far. But I see you, babe. I see you doing the work. I see you coming through. I'm seeing him in a new light. Sango, I'm not seeing her in a new light because she was always one of my faves. Like, after Kagome, she was that girl. Sesshomaru, we still getting to know him. Naruko, Nanaku, there we go. He needs to get his life together. I remember the history of Onigumo. I definitely saw that episode. I hadn't seen, like I said, the one with Sango's like family. That shit fucked me up. And how he definitely tried to play her to play Inuyasha. Kikyo. That's who I wanted to talk about. So I took a break, and that break was like an hour because some shit had gone down. But I'm back to finish this look and get into Kikyo. I will be honest, I grew up hating Kikyo because obviously I wanted Inuyasha and Kagome to be together. But then as I got older, I would think to myself, felt like, okay, once I'm older, I'll understand Kikyo a little bit more. As we all know, Naruko, whoever the hell that is, he set them up and he betrayed them because he wanted the sacred jewel shard. Naruko really kills Kikyo, and he's the one who pretends to be Inuyasha. It really is interesting to me, at least. And they both believe that the other one betrayed the other one. The one thing when they face Naruko again in present time that he brings up, he said, you know, how easy was it for that trust to be broken? If you guys loved each other so much, how was that trust so easily broken? And that's something that when he said that, I was like, oh, I think you doing something. I think you got a point. Naruko said that, and that literally like a light bulb in my head, because it made sense in my head. And here's the one thing. They bring Kikyo back, not to her own will, that which brings her back. And Kikyo absorbs some of Kagome, her soul, because she's reincarnated. And she's hell-bent on destroying Inuyasha because Inuyasha betrayed her. Everybody's explaining the situation. They're like, girl, this ain't what happened. Naruko really set y'all up. And she's still hell-bent on this. And the Japanese voice actress, that episode where Kikyo's revived, that shit hit me in the heart. That was the first time watching that. I don't remember watching that when I was younger. And the emotion that she was feeling, like that, like I was crying watching that. And you can hear, she says, Inuyasha, you betrayed me. And she felt that way. And Inuyasha's explained it now. Kagome's explained it. Even Kaede saying, like, listen, Naruko's the one who set you guys up. And Kikyo is so jaded still. And this is why I felt like I understand her more now that I'm older, but I still don't fuck with her, because Kagome's like an innocent party in this. And she was so mean to Kagome during that tree thing in that episode 23, Kagome's voice, Kikyo's kiss, that, you know, Kagome didn't deserve any of that. Regardless of your feelings, like, Kagome told you, listen, I ain't got nothing to do with, like, Inuyasha still loves you. You guys were betrayed. You guys were set up. And Kikyo was still, like, being fucked up to Kagome. That I didn't like. Then, towards the end of the episode, she's talking to Kaede, and she's like, oh, well, I feel some type of way now that Inuyasha's, like, the person that I wanted him to be when I was alive. And I'm kind of just like, well, yeah, girl, but, like, it's too late now. You died. And it hurts because you guys loved each other. But then it makes me think of what Naruko said, like, how deep was that love if this one, like, immediately you believed, like, when Inuyasha came up and betrayed you, like, you immediately believed that. You didn't question it. You didn't doubt that it would have been him. They ultimately didn't really trust each other if it was so easy for them to just accept that the other one had betrayed each other. And that's something that, as now that I'm older and I'm rewatching the series, then I can kind of, you know, I can piece together. Believe it or not, I sided with Naruko. He's right. Yeah, so in love, so quickly he was able to come in between that with one action. And had maybe him, you know, Kikyo and Inuyasha been able to have a conversation prior to him, you know, her just expiring like that, I'm definitely excited to see, you know, there's definitely more Kagome Inuyasha developments, and that will of course involve Kikyo, and it's gonna keep involving Kikyo. And it's funny because as I've gotten older, like, I hate a love triangle. Like, I hate any plot that has, I'm just like, girl, for real, like, ain't nobody in real life going through this. Although it's very realistic for people to go through love triangles. But I'm excited, you know, to see more, because I know, like I said, there's a bunch of stuff that I haven't seen before. So I'm excited to see that with this new lens. And I still don't like Kikyo. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I don't like Kikyo based on the actions of her. Not even her and Inuyasha, like them still loving each other, because everybody got cursed, died 50 years ago. Nobody left. Nobody was on good terms. But now shit's come anew. Everybody, 3 different people explaining to you the situation. And you could be mad at Inuyasha all you want. I get it, girl. Fuck that. Fuck men. But to be mad at Kagome, who literally, girls only your reincarnations, that didn't sit well with me. So we'll see what happens with them, you know, moving forward with their trajectory with the episodes that I haven't seen. I'm pretty sure, like, I know I didn't see 5 episodes of season 1, but I'm pretty sure that I've seen, I know I've seen a lot, because I know I've seen like episode 48 and a bunch in season 2. So I'm curious to see when, like, if there's a point where it'll start, like the episodes will start and it'll be like just a whole bunch of episodes that I haven't seen before. It is interesting to say the least, but like I said earlier, it has been so much fun watching Inuyasha again. It's very interesting growing up, like having a series from when you were younger and analyzing it now as an adult with an adult lens. Again, I just can't say highly enough how entertaining it has been for me to rewatch Inuyasha. Every part of it, tweeting it, you know, having conversations. Shout out to those people who are like, yo, your threads talking about it have inspired me to be watching it. That, to me, that's the ultimate compliment. That me rambling on about this damn show, you're like, yo, I need to fucking rewatch this shit. And, you know, having people text me like, yo, you're right, this shit has aged very well. And there you have it. I don't really, this fucking witch, Sesshomaru out here with them tresses. Try. You know, it's closet cosplay for a reason. So this is my final Sesshomaru look. It was a lot of fun to do and put together and talk about Inuyasha and ramble. I just want to say, again, I love Inuyasha. I've loved it since I was younger. Rewatching it has just confirmed how much I love this series, how much it has just impacted my life as well as the life of so many people, because a lot of us really grew up watching Inuyasha. It was either, you know, an introduction to anime or just something that deepened our anime love. But it's amazing, and I'm so happy that I chose to rewatch it. I'm excited to keep watching it and do a season 2 recap and, you know, continue my live tweets. So I will be sure to go ahead and put those links in my description box so you guys can find, if you're on Twitter, find my threads. I highly recommend them. I think they're hilarious because it's funny, because I'm funny. The look itself, I think, is a bop. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what anime you want me to review, rewatch, what else I should talk about. You know, I'm here for you. Peace.